Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Finally, the Ukrainians reveal when the Russians will start their spring offensive. And the Ukrainian intelligence already has the information, and they said it's going to be on 3 fronts. So I have this little article here ready, coming from Ukrinform. The article came out on Monday, February 6, 2023 at 22:22, which is 10:22 p.m. Kiev time. And this is the title. Ukrainian intelligence predicts Russian offensive efforts in Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporozhye regions. In the spring and summer of 2023, Russia plans to call up for military service up to 500,000 people to support offensive operations in the east and south of Ukraine. Now, let's see where this Donetsk, Luhansk, and Zaporozhye regions are. Let's see if I got them right. Right here. So this is the map of Ukraine. So we have Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporozhye, wasn't it? Papam. Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporozhye. So these are the ones right in the east. Not the Kherson, not Kharkiv. These 3. All right, let's see what's next. What else these guys tell us? The Russian offensive may be launched in Donetsk, Luhansk, and Zaporozhye regions, as reported by Vadim Skibitsky, the spokesman for the main intelligence directorate of Ukraine's defense ministry. And I'm quoting, "Timely data on the deployment of reserves and assessments of rapid changes in the enemy units' potential are important. For example, in January 2023, we saw that Russia intended to mobilize 300,000 to 500,000 people into the army to support offensive operations in the east and south of Ukraine in the spring and summer of 2023. The relevant order to mobilize 500,000 conscripts in January is in addition to the 300,000 called up in October 2022. And this is another clear sign that the Kremlin has no intention of ending the war. Well, if you give up, they will end the war. How about that? As I always say, if you remember Napoleon Bonaparte, the French emperor, general emperor, consul, he said that I love peace. I like peace as long as it's done on my terms. And if you look around in any situation, the peace comes when someone beats the other one. So imposes his or the country's will on another one. And the other one, we have to live with it. Remember, after the armistice, after the First World War in Europe, Germany signed the armistice, which was like, shit, what happened? They were unsatisfied with the clauses in from the First World War. So from Versailles, they jumped into the Second World War. Why? Because they didn't agree with those terms. They had to agree with those terms because they signed the armistice. So the same here. Yeah, the war could be stopped if you guys, from the Russian perspective, just say, okay, no more war. And I don't think you guys, talking to you Ukrainians, have any intention of ending the war either, unless you get what you want. Right now you don't, because it's not where you want to end a war. We have determined, I'm continuing Mr. Skibitsky's statement, we have determined that the Russian offensive efforts may be launched in Donetsk and Luhansk regions and possibly in Zaporozhye region. So, that is Donetsk and Luhansk regions, possibly in Zaporozhye, right here. And I have another map here, but it's a little bit flimsier, just a little drawing. I think this one was much better. So, all right, let's see what else Skibitsky has to say. At the same time, Russian troops will further defend Kherson region and Crimea. All right, Kherson is right. Kherson right here in the south and Crimea. So they will defend these positions on the Dnieper River. Here's the Dnieper River that you don't see, but I tell you, and you have to believe me. And then I'm going to be on Zaporozhye, Donetsk, and Luhansk. They will get probably to the Dnieper. They're not at the Dnieper River right now. But the Dnieper River runs like this. So I don't know if they intend to get to that point, but that's a good, how do you call it, natural barrier. All right, Skibitsky said this. Okay, Skibitsky must be right. He emphasized that the new wave of military call-up in Russia will last up to 2 months. Still, the implementation of their plans is directly dependent both on how Russian reservists are equipped as well as on the level, quality, and pace of Western military support for Ukrainian defenders. The intelligence officials recalled that Ukraine's high-precision strikes on enemy manpower clusters, as in occupied Makivka, expert massive psychological pressure on enemy troops. So, as Ukrinform reported earlier on February 4th, the General Staff announced that the enemy forces were regrouping in separate directions. The main efforts focus on offensive operations in the Kupiansk, Liman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Novopavlivka directions. All those are around here somewhere, in Donetsk area, right here. This is where they are, Liman, Bakhmut, and Novopavlivka, and all that. So this is what the Ukrainians say about this spring and summer offensive. 500,000 people more to be recruited. Yeah, the Russians can go up to 30 million at least if they're gonna start a general mobilization. So this is ready. I don't think it's gonna start in the next 10 days as Wizard Reznikov, the still Ukrainian defense minister, stated, but definitely will start. I don't know if they're going to start with it with what they have right now, or they wait for the 500,000 to come, or they're just going to be as they come. They just come, they regroup, they make enough troops in certain areas, and then they are going to try to overwhelm the Ukrainians. Also, I think the Russians will try to start this before any more important, I don't want to say important, but I will say no tanks, or if they send long-range missile systems, I'm talking about the sponsors, or airplanes to Ukraine. So obviously the Russians could be well advised to do that, start an invasion, at least partial invasion or offensive before those things come. The thing is, Ukrainian personnel is not trained. Now I understand that these things, I think, will not be operated necessarily by Ukrainian personnel. I have a little gut feeling about that, even though they, if you read the news, the Ukrainians are, 1,500, not 15,000, 1,500. They just landed in London, in Great Britain. Some went to Germany, some went even to United States, in Oklahoma. All these are just getting trained on Leopard, Abrams, and maybe fighter jets, and also on the Patriot systems that supposedly will be delivered. Now, for all that, you need about 6 months. Supposedly, the Ukrainians are so that they will do it in, 3 days or so. So when the tanks are coming, and if they will receive fighter jets, the Ukrainians will be ready right there. Now, I doubt they will be the operators of fighter jets as pilots and tank operators, but hey, we're going to find out in about 10 years. Okay? And about the Patriot systems, the same. If they're delivered now, they will not get into action in the next 5 months, because they just started training maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago in Oklahoma. 100 Ukrainians for a Patriot battery is one Patriot battery. From whatever I learned, you need about 80 to operate a Patriot battery. So 100 are in Oklahoma. So that means one battery. I mean, I hope that makes or does wonders. So anyway, this is the situation. Three areas, Luhansk, Donetsk, and possibly Zaporozhia. 500,000 people ready to go, to be recruited out of the 300,000 that they already were recruited. So there's going to be, what, 800,000 people ready to fight. And Russia has more human resources. More. Ukraine, I don't think so. They are right now are just, did you see those emergency troops, or whatever they call them, assault troops? They are going to allow whomever is able to, I don't know, breathe in and breathe out, go and join these troops, which I don't, again, I have a gut feeling that there might not be what or who they say there will be. I don't have the evidence to say that those troops will be some infiltration from other forces, but we can't ignore history, and history teaches us a lot that something like this occurred. And during war, you do all kind of hanky-panky, and you deceive the enemy as much as you can. So those troops of emergency troops, or whatever, attack troops, or whatever they call them now, they could be different kind of speaking troops over there fighting. But so what? We'll find out, as I said, later, after all this gets sorted out. Because right now everybody's going to deny everything that is not supposedly legal. All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.